Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Dawn. How are you? I believe it is Wednesday night, and we've got a little bit of a low light here. I'm running around packing, and I just wanted to hop on and share a couple moments with you about timing. I've been thinking about this one all day today because this one's a difficult concept to understand when it comes to timing. You know, I hear people tell me all the time, you know, if only I was in the right place at the right time. Has anyone ever felt like that? If you're watching this on the replay, do me a favor and do hashtag replay. Throw me some likes, throw me some loves. Timing never seems to be on your side. Timing is essential. And when we talk about these laws, this one, similar to the law of intuition, a lot of times is dependent on right actions at the right time, right? But there's some hiccups and there's some scenarios that many of us often encounter. And a lot of times we second guess our judgment, second guess decisions. And I want to just share with you for a few minutes because this comes up all the time in my particular business, and I'm sure it does in yours. So if timing seems to be something that either you always seem to be like at the perfect place at the perfect time, you know, you are insanely blessed. But I have often questioned in the past, like my timing on either the time or the action that I took. And I want to talk to you for just a moment about 4 different dichotomies here. Okay. So the first one is, and this one again, this one errs on the side of the natural leader. So if you're somebody who people naturally follow, right? If you're somebody who just has an incredible skill set and you have great intuition and you are just an influencer, okay? And some of us out there have those incredible innate gifts and talents. And remember I said before, as we've gone through this journey, anybody can learn to influence. Anyone can learn to raise their leadership lid. But the important thing when it comes to timing is understanding why sometimes things don't seem to work out when we engage. So the first one is doing the wrong action at the wrong time. Simply leads to disaster. That's it. I mean, you can probably sit back for a moment and think about those things that you've done that it just didn't work out. It wasn't the right situation, wasn't the right action, wasn't the right behavior, wasn't the right step forward, and the timing was completely poor. I think of this in a lot of arenas. Let's keep it really simple and basic. Baseball. Do I have any baseball fans out there? Drop me some likes, some loves. Anybody a baseball fan? So let's think of the timing for baseball players out there of somebody standing in the batter's box, right? And a pitcher throwing a pitch. If the timing is off, if the batter's timing is off, right, it makes all the difference between it being a home run or a foul ball. And it could be just a matter of inches, but it has everything to do with timing. That's kind of what happens in life. Right? Wrong action, wrong time, it's a disaster, it's a flop. So let's talk about the right action at the wrong time. This has happened to me probably more often than not. There's initiatives that you want to run. There's things that you want to implement. There's things that you want to do. It could be anything. It could be buying something, a major purchase in your life. It could be something that's a necessity that you need. Hey, Richard. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Susan. Tatiana, I saw a few of you guys out there tonight. How are you? So think of something that is like the right action. It's a necessity, but the timing's not right, right? The budget doesn't work, or the environment, the conditions aren't right. There's a lot of variables that really need to be in alignment here. So, you know, intuition is a big part of this. Understanding and confidence is another one. One that always played out for me was me second guessing myself. It was the lack of decisiveness on my end at certain times. When I look back at decisions that I made or didn't make, it was the right action, but because I waited too long, because I didn't implement right away, because I didn't do it messy, and I know many of us out there are this way. We have these great ideas, but we don't implement. We don't run with it, and then before we know it, somebody else has done it. And I hear people tell me that all the time. I had this great idea when, and then they don't implement, and before they know it, somebody else has done it or taken the lead on it, or somebody else has the position because they just didn't take the initiative, right? It happens. I watch friends that are, dabble in the stock market. There's so many different areas and arenas where this plays out. I think about this in my own particular business where there's initiatives I want to run or challenges I want to run or things I want to do, and then before I know, I've thought about it too much. So if you get stuck in analysis paralysis, this is where your timing could be off. It could be the absolute perfect thing that you need to do for your business, but your timing could be poor just because of your lack of following your gut, trusting that intuition. Okay, so the next one then is the wrong action at the right time. So this one is not cutting your losses early enough, right? The wrong action at the right time. So the environment is conducive, but you sit on something too long once again, or you wait too long, or you don't follow suit in something that you should have done, and you decide to do something else, right? This one is about, let's just say that the timing you need to, let me just think about it here for a moment, because this is something that played out. I knew that there was training that needed to happen, okay? And the timing was perfect for the implementation of some training, okay? The problem was it was the wrong type of training that I implemented. I didn't have a good temperature on where the field was at, the desire, the wants, the needs, right? And I implemented something. Training was needed, timing was perfect because they were open, but it was the wrong type of training. Does that make sense? Or it was the wrong action at the right time. So and if anybody has any other examples, throw them in here. The last one is the right action at the right time. This is where everything's in alignment. This is where there's synergy. This is where you see success and you see momentum. One of the things that I want you to really walk away with is that a lot of times decisions that we make don't turn out well. When it comes to this entire concept of timing, the decisions that we make most often than not don't turn out well because you typically have made the decision too late. That is the most common reason why decisions fail, or whether it's our implementation of a strategy. And I think about a lot of different strategies. I had an entire list of different strategies that I plan to implement. There's different approaches, especially, I'm thinking of sales training, right? I have different approaches that are top down, and for those business builders out there, leaders, that's from management down, right? And those are the things that the leaders should be doing, that should be trickling down throughout their organization, throughout their business, throughout their team. And then there's a bottom-up approach. This is where there's training implemented at the level where somebody's fresh, somebody's new, right? And these are the things that we are going to teach them so that we can build upon that in order to move individuals up into a career path, okay? Into a different skill set. So there's two different approaches. And if you follow the wrong approach, okay, the timing could be great. You're in massive momentum. There is a need to fill a gap as far as training and development is concerned, right? But it could be your team, your organization. It could be anything that you're struggling with, any kind of decision. I can't reiterate this enough. Typically, the decision fails. The decision leads to a lack of success, most often than not because you made the decision too late. So these are a couple things to be aware of and to think about when it comes to this law of timing, right? So one, bring other natural leaders around you. So if you have challenges with decisiveness, if you have challenges being prepared, if organization is not your strong suit, if you're not a confident leader and you're a little wishy-washy, more or less, bring other people that have walked the walk around you. Find mentors, find anybody, crossline, upline, mentors, coaches, life coaches, business coaches, anybody that can offer you support that has had success in this arena. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself by because they can help you to navigate this timing variable. The number two, look at your people. You have to really have a good pulse on where your people are at. Where is your team? What is the morale like? What is the energy like? What is the need like? Is there resistance? Are they open? So you really have to understand the landscape of what's going on in your organization in order to implement something. You could have the greatest ideas in the world, the most perfect strategies. You could have an entire sales development plan laid out, okay? But based on where your people are at, the implementation of that is crucial as to whether they're receptive or not, as to whether it's going to build, okay, them up or tear them down, okay? So just because you have, all these amazing best laid plans doesn't mean implementation is going to be received well because of timing. You have to keep this in the back of your mind. So watch your people. Know where they're at, and the best way to figure out what their needs are is to talk to them, to interview them, go through a process. Because you know what, where they say they're at today doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be in the same space 3 months from now. And I think of several people I know that this is, and I always say in network marketing, direct selling space, this is either a vehicle or a destination for people. And as a leader, you really have to wrap your mind around that and understand that, because if this is just a vehicle for somebody, if they have greater dreams or greater aspirations and they're using this this opportunity monetarily, for the friendships to be dialed in, for the product experience, you have to be very careful not to push them into that. Because you want them to be a business builder, you have to be very careful not to push them into that lane until they're ready, right? They have to be ready. Everybody I always say there's 3 lanes, right? There's the people who love the product, enjoy the product, want to continue to use the product in any product environment. And then you have the opposite lane. You have your people that in network marketing and direct sales, you have your people that are your business builders, the people that want to learn, the people that want to grow. But then you have a middle lane. And more often than not, you have to realize that your people are happy in the middle lane. So interviewing and knowing what the landscape of your people is like is crucial, where they're at, where their head is at, and meet them where they are, love them where they're at. Okay, number 3 is study the times. Market timing is crucial. I'm going to just use this particular example. When I look at the space that I'm in, right, health and wellness, and in that sector, and fitness and nutrition, right? I look at what's going on, the global epidemic that we're dealing with. Unfortunately, there's so many people popping up in this space that are subpar, okay? But you have an $80 billion industry in the health and wellness space, and no wonder why people are confused. Your coaching, your alignment, your partnership, your engagement, your service, okay, is going to set you apart from everybody else in this space. I know that 60% of the success of my clients is based on my relationship with them. The closer they stay to me, the closer they're going to get to their goals. And granted, we all have those individuals that, just want to do it their way, but I want you to make sure that you understand here when it comes to timing, another crucial variable when you make a decision to do anything, step into a space, step into an industry. If you're right now looking between companies, or if you're looking between product, whatever it may be, timing, the culture, the environment, Um, you you just want to make sure that you're not wasting actions on a bad decision, right? You want to make sure that there's no resistance. You want to make sure that the timing is right for whatever decision that you're about to make. And you can think about this from a family standpoint. Is the timing right for a move, right? Is the timing right to downsize? What does the timing look like for you? Is the timing right to, if you're trying to make a decision right now, what are you considering? What is your timing mindset? So I hope that gives you a few ideas. Again, timing is really difficult to understand and explain and grasp, but time is relative, guys. The one thing that you can absolutely do is be a little bit more conscious and don't beat yourself up so much, because sometimes you've made really, really great decisions. It was just that the timing was wrong. And I see that, oh, we got low battery. I see that time and time again, no pun intended, but people sit on their decisions far too long rather than taking the leap forward. Trust your intuition, trust your instinct, and if you have nothing to lose, why not? Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you soon.